second game against Portland of the season. You know, obviously the first one went well. They've got some injuries. What are you expecting out of this away trip?
I'm expecting another tough game. I mean, the game up here was tough. We won 1-0, and you know, Christian scored that goal early. We were able to hang on, but it wasn't without, you know, a little bit of strife, and you know, Portland putting us under pressure at times. And you know, in that game, if I remember, Guzman had to come out, and that hurt them because he's a good player. So, I mean, whoever they put on the field, whoever we put on the field, I mean, we've had 3 games in 8 days. You know, it'll be a high-intensity match.
How big is the fact that Sebastian Blanca won't be there for the...
That's a big loss. But look, we've lost players too, through international duty, through injuries. Caleb's a good enough coach. He'll know how to figure it out. He's got players on the bench he can go to. You know, it's certainly a loss, but that's why it's MLS. That's why it's a long season, and you need to have depth players.
Brad Evans didn't feature at all, even though he's on the bench on Wednesday. Was there a reason to keep him from getting any minutes, or was it just that Christian was doing so well there?
Christian was doing well. You don't usually like making changes on your back line. Look, if I had to do it over again, would I have brought him on? Yeah, maybe. But you know, we were saving him for the Portland match and getting him, make sure that he's right for that.
He's good to go.
He is training, full green, ready to go.
What are the differences you've noticed in how teams are kind of defending and keying in on Nico this season compared to last season?
Well, I think now everybody has enough tape on him that they, you know, obviously do the scouting, do the research, you know, find out where he likes to, you know, pick up balls and stuff. I mean, our guys, our sport and science staff gives us heat maps of every player that we're going up against on the weekends. I'm sure they do the same. You know, when you have a good player like Nico, you obviously want to try and limit his touches. How do you limit his touches? You either, you know, deny him time and space, or you foul him, or do stuff like that. I think he's still, you know, one of the guys that has the most fouls against him in the league. But it's hard because he's a good player. He pops up in a lot of different spots, so it's challenging for other teams.
How do you feel about the kind of chemistry between him and Clint specifically, and has it been a challenge at all with kind of maybe similar skill sets or occupying the same spaces on the field or anything like that?
Well, it's been our number one challenge from the beginning of the year to get all the pieces working in the right order. You know, early in the year we had games where we'd have, you know, 600-700 passes and we'd still lose to Vancouver 2-0. You know, the game against Orlando, it still leaves a bitter taste in our mouth, but you know, I thought overall we were pretty good. We were pretty dangerous. I mean, a scramble in the second half, Jordy's chance where he just had a little heavy touch. We had a bunch of other half chances. I think we created some good play there against Orlando, and we couldn't finish the chances. So I think it's, you know, it's too late in the season to say it's a work in progress. I mean, those guys got to figure it out now, but I think there's, you know, some good spots, some bright spots.
Coach, you mentioned bitter taste in your mouth from the Orlando games. Sometimes a short week, is that a good thing? You can get right back to it.
It's always one of the hallmarks of this group is that they're, you know, mentally strong. They would much rather play earlier than let that sit for a full week. So 1 day, 2 days shorter rest is always good.
Second time playing Portland in a month. Is it a positive to play a team so close together, or do you wish you maybe had more time?
You talking about the Open Cup, or
I'm talking regular season.
stuff?
The Open Cup was.
Well, yeah, that's 3, but
right,
but different squads.
Exactly, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look, it's a good rivalry. We've played them enough. Yes, we know who they are, but it's also good for the fans. The players get up for it, so the games are fast and entertaining. I mean, as coaches, I think you just deal with it. I don't think there's any, okay, I'm not going to complain, because what's the use of complaining? Schedule makers do their thing. But, you know, it'll be good. It'll be an exciting game.
Will Bruin has one of the best goals per 90 ratios in MLS this season. How much of a boost has he been on the attacking line so far this year?
Great. Whether he starts or whether he comes off the bench, he's been very, very good. Very good.
Gustav Svensson's moved around a little bit. He's played in both defense and midfield. He probably would maintain still that his favorite position is midfield. Where do you think his best position is right now?
Well, he's played with Ozzy now a couple of times, and he does very well in there. So I might agree with him that midfield's a strong possibility, but he's done a great job for us at center back as well. So I'm not going to pigeonhole him anywhere. I certainly listen to him, and I take into consideration how he feels, because players have to be comfortable. But he's a team guy, so he's always said, "Look, coach, I'll do whatever it takes to help the team win."
Brian, I want to go back to Nico a little bit. Is his toughness something that's underrated? Because sometimes a technically gifted player like that, because there's times he gets bone crunched, tackles, he gets right up and gets going. Is that something that, not for you, but for us, that's underrated?
He's Uruguayan. So one of my best friends, Fernando Clavillo, broke my nose in training one day. He's Uruguayan. Nico's Uruguayan. They have a little bit of an edge to them sometimes, and they're tough people. They're tough people. So Nico does suffer some fouls, but he's pretty resilient, and he usually gets up and keeps going. So it's just testament to his character.
Right, obviously the time change on Sunday, does that affect your preparations or anything like that in terms of getting the team ready?
No, we'll still do the same. We play down in Portland at 7:30, 1 o'clock, noon, 2. We've done it all, so it's fine.
Were you pleased about the time change in terms of player safety and stuff?
Sure. It's global warming. It's going to be hot down there. I don't want to be political, but I believe in political in global warming. So we got to do something. But yeah, it was a look, if it didn't affect our TV stuff, then I think it was the right decision.
It seems like Jordan's in a stretch right now where he's kind of doing everything right and getting himself in really good chances right up until the final ball. Do you think, especially with a young forward like that, it's like just kind of a matter of time before, if you put yourself in those positions enough times, they'll start falling?
Yes, absolutely. And we're putting him more in those situations in training. We've been working with him every day just to get him more reps so he feels more comfortable.
And is he all good physically right now? I know he had the ankle. And
He's all good physically.
Is there anything in particular that you feel like the team needs to specifically do well against this Portland team?
Defend well, finish our chances. I think we're a good team. There were spells against Orlando in the last couple of games that we play some good stuff. Being consistent. I think we've been a little inconsistent this year, but good defense, putting your chances away. We'll start stringing together some hopefully good results.
Did you feel like that good performance of the team, certain parts of the Orlando game, came from a Bruin that was very well located and the ability for Jordan?
We had all of our top scorers on the field at one time. Pretty much had a full strength lineup. So I think that's part of it, yes.
Brian, does the 86 game ever, the August 26 game ever come up when they won a first game, came back, scored 2?
No, that's last year.
Yeah, that's nothing that.
Yeah.
But this really comes up how you guys. That was the beginning of your.
The only reason why that game has any significance was that was a trying game. They came out and took it to us in the first half, and the resolve that our team came out with in the second half was strong. I didn't have to yell at them at halftime. Normally coaches would yell and scream and blah blah blah. It was Ozzy and some of the other players on the team that were leading that charge, saying this this is unacceptable. We're going to change this score. Ozzy felt we could come back and win the game. So that's their mentality.